Well, I haven't done a video for quite a long time on my Nash. Um, been busy with a lot of other items, but just wanted to do a short video on changing my injectors. I'm going from the stock injectors to a 58 pound per hour FIC injector. And I'm also, it's a EV6 style injector. So I bought the Holley harness that matches the EV6 because this is the stock injectors. I think they are 27 pound per hour, and I have the old style harness from Holley on that also. We're going to also change out the fuel regulator. This engine had 275,000 miles on it. So I just wanted to change that out just in case. I had some vibration issues, it seemed like, but I thought maybe it was because of the cam I put into it. But it also, it's pretty rich in smelling for fuel. And I'm just not, I mean, the economy doesn't seem so bad, but this car is so light, so it doesn't really do too bad on fuel economy. But just the fact that it smells really rich, and the injectors have over 250,000 miles on them, I'm kind of thinking that they are bad. It has sometimes when I shut it off after it's running, it has a hard time starting. And then you just leave it sit and it starts just fine. So I'm just debating on whether it is either the fuel regulator from some eBay videos I saw, or it is the injectors. It's most likely both. But I'm going to start it with not doing anything. I'm going to change out the fuel regulator, start it, see if that makes a difference. And then I'll do a start once the injectors are in, and after I tune the Holley Terminator X Max to the new injectors, then I'll start it again, and hopefully it'll run a lot smoother and a lot less rich. So this isn't a how-to video, but it's just kind of an update of what I'm going to do. So I'm not going to do a continuous video. I'll just stop it periodically when I get to certain points in the process. So
okay, I'm not sure if it comes through with the video for the sound, but it's sounds like it's running okay. I can smell pretty strong fuel. I don't know if you can see the hood's kind of shaking. And again, I'm not 100% sure if that's that is there. There's a little bit of a vibration. Yeah, I'm not sure if you can see that, but that's shaking a little bit. And it could be the cam, but I did notice that there are some cracks on that vacuum line. And I'm not sure if that makes much difference. I'm going to replace that also now. But it's running at a high idle just because I just started it up. Looks like it's at about 1,000 RPM. Running at 49 PSI. So, oil pressure looks good. Right now the temp's only 135 degrees, so I think pretty soon it'll slowly work its way down. But yeah, you can see a little bit of a wobble there. Again, I'm not sure if it's on my cam, but we'll find out. Hopefully it'll run a lot smoother.
well, like the other videos I watched said, when you pull the pull the fuel regulator out, which is this one on a 2003. The filter or screen does not come out with it, nor does the inner O-ring. So I'm gonna have to pull those out to make sure that there's room for the new one. Okay, so I made sure that the O-ring's out of the inside there, that little tiny one. So I got all my parts that are supposed to be there, so I can install the new one. This must be for a couple of different applications, because when I was watching videos, I do not see where this would possibly go. So it must be for a different application. So anyway, that's the new one. And I'm just going to use a new clip on it and install it. So that was pretty simple. Just popping it in and making sure that this is pointing up. And again, this has a little bit of cracks in it, but we're going to see if that made any difference with the running.
Well, I just replaced the fuel regulator, and I believe it's running, vibrates just as much, but a little bit more, it's a lower idle now too, so that might make a little bit of a difference, but it definitely, that wasn't the absolute fix. So hopefully with the new injectors, it'll make quite a bit of difference on the vibration, hopefully. Again, you can't really see it, but she's shaking pretty good. I know my mirrors were always vibrating too when I was trying to look out the back of them, so they didn't really, and it doesn't really show it here, but it was pretty tough to watch, see through the mirrors. So hopefully that'll fix it. If not, it's just the cam. But I know the rich fuel smell is going to make a big difference with the new one. So I'm told, well, I'm going to need an 8mm and a 10mm sockets to get the job done. We'll see how easy that'll be. I'm going to take off the vortec cap here and this piece that holds that on there, so that I can get better access to the injector rail. Well, I've got a lot of the prep work off. I unhooked a lot of the ignition parts and got a lot of stuff out of the way. I'm going to unhook the fuel lines pretty quick, but I just wanted to state that the injectors I'm using are Fuel Injector Clinic, part number IS304-0525H, and they are 525 cc's, which comes to be about 58 pounds per hour, I believe. And I'm doing the 43 psi. It is actually 50 in there, so I might use the data when I tune it at the 50 psi. But they should work fine with that. The Holley connector, you can see there, the EV6 connectors, and I bought the Holley connector where I can just take my old ones off, and that's part 558-201. And these will just plug right in. I'll take this one out, and that'll plug right in. So just wanted to kind of give you an update on that before I start tearing apart. What I did do that I was recommended by a lot of videos is to release the pressure. And again, there's many videos out there that do a better job than I do, but I just took this off, and there's a little plunger in there that I put some a towel underneath here, push that, the fuel came out, take the pressure off here. So now it's just a matter of the 8mm, and I saw one video just not take these off,
just pop this up and replace them that way. I'm going to try that. If that doesn't work, I'm going to end up taking these out, and it's probably smarter to do that, but I'm kind of lazy today. I'm going to see if it works to do it the way I saw in the video. So anyway, I will show you the injectors when I get them out. Well, I got it off. It came, they popped up really good, but as I've seen in videos, they do not go into the fuel rails easily. I haven't done that yet, but they some of them are looking pretty dirty. That one is really bad, and I did not do anything to these yet. Nothing to them yet. Yeah, I don't even know if that one was working, to be honest with you. Again, I did not do anything to these other than I just took them out. So it's very possible that maybe I had multiple failures. I did not check them before I pulled the motor out of the truck that I had. It was a 2003 3/4 ton, and I think there's a hair on that one, but I think that one might have came from just pulling it out. So, but they don't look very good. So at least in my mind, it's not a waste. So I'm betting there was at least two. I'm not going to bother getting them checked, but I'm betting there's at least two of them. Now the FIC Fuel Injector Clinic injectors are these are brand new injectors, not rebuilt, but they are designed to be exact replacements for the original injectors. You don't need spacers, according to the tech that I called. So I'm hoping that is true. I'm going to pull one of those out and we'll line them up, and I'm sure they are. That's what he said. I'm sure that's what it is. But here's the EV2. The EV2 style, and this is the, I'm not sure the name on these. I'm doing a bad job here, sorry guys. But that is the original style. I'm not sure exactly what they call that. But anyway, I'm going to pull them out and we'll see what kind of trouble I'm going to get myself into. So, well, they came out pretty decent, and they went in actually pretty decent. The only issue I have is I'm a little concerned. The original ones are these are shorter than these, so I don't know if I'm going to have an issue. I put them in, but it looks like where they seat, they're at a different height on there. So I'm hoping that they will still work. I called the company. It's Saturday, of course, and they are closed on Saturday, which is fine. So I can call them on Monday again. But worst case scenario, I'm wondering if I have to put spacers on here to so I can tighten these down pretty decent. I'm just afraid this is going to sit too high and cause some issues with the intake area. So, but I guess we'll find out. Well, I'm not sure. Seems like it's running a little different. I idled it up a little bit, between 700 and 800 RPM for idle speed. Kind of seems to have a little nicer sound. I'll have to compare the when I listen to the other video. But it still seems to have a vibration to it. Maybe that's just what I'm going to have to live with it. I'm going to take it out on the road and see how it runs. And I'm hoping that it runs a little nicer. Well, I went online and watched a lot of videos on how to tune and set up the fuel table and the spark and the accelerator and several other different parts of the Holley Terminator tuning, and I think it's running a little nicer. I've got a lot of learning to do, but I have it running at about 800 RPM. I might consider going a little bit lower. I don't think I need to have it idling that fast, but that's what some of them recommend. But I think it's because they have larger cams. But all in all, I think it's sounding pretty good. I think I still have a little bit of rich fuel, but that could be because the temp's not up there yet. But anyway, she started really nice, and happy how it turned out so far. I guess we'll catch you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Well, I changed plugs, and because it had been running really rich prior to the injection change, I thought, well, it wouldn't hurt to change plugs. There wasn't many miles on the plugs, but I learned a valuable lesson that I definitely don't know everything. When I took the injectors out, I'm sure on the early videos, anybody that probably was watching real closely, I was putting this together, but I failed to put the ignition on this side on, and it was sitting up hiding on here. Never looked at it. I'd hooked it up on the other side, and it was running disgustingly rich. I could smell fuel really bad. It was surprisingly running decent, but it was something that I'm a newbie, and I admit I don't know everything. This is not a how-to, it's a how probably to not do it. But anyway, that's how I obviously figured out. If you would be looking, you'd get that. But I realized, I looked at my plugs when I took them out, and I kept them in order. These looked like they were wet. Didn't even look like they were sparking on all just this one side. When I pulled off the other side, it looked like they were burning rich, but they actually were burning. And I'm thinking, well, that's kind of odd. Just one side is not doing it. Can all these coil packs be bad? And then I looked and I realized this was not plugged in. So yeah, that's just something that I don't work on these all the time. And I know some of you out there, if not all of you out there, know better. But anyway, I admit my mistake, and this will be my first startup with the new plugs. I put new one of these on because it was leaking, and I got pretty much all new stuff except for the coils on it. So I'm going to start it up, and we'll see. It's got to run better because that one whole side wasn't running, but surprisingly it was running okay. So anyway, we'll start this up when it's running. Well, it's running, and it definitely does not smell like fuel anymore. It still has a rumbling sound. That's because of mufflers or flow masters, but it smells like normal exhaust now finally. Yeah, so So the injectors were the first issue, and then it didn't get fixed, and I was the next issue with this here. So yeah, it smells. If exhaust can smell great, it smells great compared to what it was, because it was almost like, well, half of an engine was blowing straight fuel out. So it sure sounds nice, I think. It got down into it's getting down closer to my the RPMs I want on there. My next purchase, I think, is going to be a Holley 12-inch dash gauge. That's kind of my goal. We'll see. So anyway, I'm going to take it out for a spin and see if it can't learn correctly. The poor thing was trying to learn and correct itself on half of an engine. So again, my mistake, but I'm glad I found it, and maybe if you do something like this, you'll learn by my mistake. So anyway, it's been fun doing this video, and we'll catch you on the next one.